Alright, 4-color gates. So this is a ramp/control deck that's built around using like Root and Growth Barrows to get a lot of extra lands into play. Then once we have a lot of mana, we use payoffs such as Hydroid Krasis, Mass Manipulation, and Guild Summit to generate card advantage to kind of go over the top of what our opponent's doing. In my experience, this deck tends to be very good against mid-range and okay against control. And it tends to struggle against disruptive aggro decks like white aggro splash blue and mono blue. You can be okay against mono red if you have Archway Angel, but sometimes that can be a tough time too. So mid-range decks like Sultai, like green-red aggro, those are the like ideal matchups that we're looking for with this one. A couple of people asking about details with the sponsorship. Sponsors rotate in and out all the time. It's just like the Harry's Razors thing was off for a little while and then back up. So, if you advertising like constantly through with all the time isn't necessarily profitable for places. So it's not uncommon for them to like pick up for a couple months, then drop off and then come back later. It's kind of how it goes. As audience changes, as time changes. It's fine. What do you think about Karn Engage? Like 4-mana Karn? What problem do we have that 4-mana Karn is solving for us, Jockey? Would be my question. It's always my question. You want me to add a card? What problem do I have, and how does that card solve that problem? In my opinion, that is the correct way to approach deck building. Ask yourself, what issue do I have, and how am I working to solve that issue by making this change? We'll get to see the control matchup here. The Esper matchups felt close to me in the past, but people in chat are saying it's hard, so we'll see if we can have some thoughts on it after we play it here. I want to make sure I get a bunch of blue sources here. I already have a white source. A bunch of blue sources ensures that when I draw Mass Manipulation, it's castable. I currently have 7 lands in place. This is going to be my 8th land, and this Hydroid Krasis is going to draw me 3. I don't believe you, Inky. So, one of the changes I made to this deck to hedge the aggressive matchups that have been feeling hard to me was I added copies of Shivan Fire, which here, playing against Esper Control Game 1 is definitely a liability. These Shivan Fires obviously are not particularly good here. In fact, they probably just don't have a text box, so if we don't draw another Krasis sometime soon, we could be in for a bad time. Now, all of the ads on YouTube are handled by YouTube. If you're getting ads that you don't want to see, that means the YouTube algorithm thinks that you want to see them for some reason. It's not, you mentioned the length of the ad there. Longer ads are very common, but they're skippable. That's the reason they're skippable. So that way, if you want to stop watching them once the skip thing happens, you can. I'm going to hold on to this Azorius Guildgate for now, so that way if we draw a Gate Colossus, I can pick it back up. Yep. And this is one of the reasons why Esper Control is such a good deck in Standard, is almost every deck in the format has a bunch of dead draws against Esper, because you just need these cards in your deck to not die to things like Mono Blue and White Aggro and Sultai, and then they just don't have text boxes in a match like this. hopefully at some point we're going to draw one of our other 3 copies of Hydroid Krasis, and then even if they have a counter spell or a removal spell, we'll still get to pick up a bunch of cards and win ultimately. Oh, you know what? This is a small mistake on my part. I should have attacked before doing this, so that way those gates could have put Gate Colossus back on top of my deck if they cast this down or mortify it. Yeah, that was a mistake on my part. I think we're in a position where I'm happy to redraw this. And, like, if this was post-board, the 4 cards in my hand just, like, had text boxes, we'd be in an incredibly favorable spot right now. But because it's game 1 and they don't, we're likely going to die. It depends on when my opponent finds one of their pieces of card advantage. So, we're failing to draw our Krasis currently, but my opponent is also failing to draw their Tefris and their Chemist's Insights, which is a big game for us. How many lands do I have in play? I have 6. I'm actually going to play this Guildgate out here because it gives me an even number for Hydroid Krasis. This is exactly what they wanted to see, a card that lets them draw more cards. So I have 6, 10, I have 14 mana. So if we draw a Krasis, it draws 6. Update the stream decker. Yep, good call. Went to the restroom and forgot. Thin it out. Thin it out. Do. They must have a counterspell, right? Otherwise they would have done this on their turn. Game 1 hostage taker, huh? Alright, well, this is exciting. This is why you normally don't play hostage taker game 1, because they've made my card here that normally doesn't have a text box in this matchup have a text box by putting hostage taker in their deck.
I'm known by excellent timing.
1 Hydroid Krasis, please. Or Guild Summit, or something. I'm getting absorbed. We are very dead. This game was closed for a little bit because my opponent didn't find any of their card advantage, but now that they had Chemisters into Teferi, we're probably dead. Or if our next card doesn't draw us a bunch of cards, I'm going to concede. To the post-board game. Making our deck slightly better against aggro and then immediately queuing into control and drawing every card that's supposed to be good against aggro is just like the definition of magic. At least we're not playing best of 1, so I get a chance to like make my deck better here post board. At least it's not best of 1. Got that going for us. Do you want some number of Shivan Fire for Thief? Nah, I'd play Kraul Harpooner before Shivan Fire. Thief just isn't very good in this matchup. The Thief decking us is generally scarier than the Thief taking our spells, just because a lot of our spells are synergistic, so the Esper deck has a hard time leveraging them. Hey, thanks for the biddies, Hexa. Hope you're having a good one. Good afternoon. Yeah, I boarded in 1 Harpooner because I needed 1 more slot, but I wasn't super thinking about Thief, so maybe 2 Harpooners is reasonable. I could see that. Just like playing both. Why did we kill Pirate ASAP when we could have killed it end of turn? Because did they not have 8 mana up? I thought they had 8 mana up. I didn't want them to cast my 8/8. figuring out their board plan against Gates. Not too surprised that they're taking a second. The Gates deck isn't super popular as it once was. Definitely hit. That card just has so much text that it's like easy to forget part of it. This hand's great till they cast Duress and Thought Erasure. But again, you don't get hands that are better against Duress and Thought Erasure by mulliganing. So you just like keep it and like hope that the top of your deck is good. It's exciting. It's exciting. It's a good draw. Follower mode actually shouldn't be on anymore. Oh, I do have followers only chat on, don't I? Yes, I could turn that off since we're in sub only. Sure. Especially with the second Krasis draw here, I'm just going to play this out as a 2-2. So I get a little bit of pressure in play. Get a little bit of velocity going. Enjoy your negate. Getting Guild Summit down is a big deal here for us. It's one of the ways we can bury them in cards here. Definitely gonna need to fight through this this Karn here though. They missed a land last turn. I think I'm gonna give them Contempt. Thoughts on straight up Dimir mid-range a la Seth Manfield? We've played that deck on stream. I encourage you to go check out the replay of it for my real-time thoughts on it.
You are only hurting yourself.
You are only hurting yourself. I think it's pretty likely that they counter this. Because it draws a bunch of cards with Guild Summit. So I think I do this. I play the land. I Cindervines the Azcanta. I think is the plan here.
This will aid us.
Yep, there's the land they've been digging for. Wonder if we'll see a Teferi happen here. I guess they have Vraska's Contempt to kill this Hydroid Krasis too. If they don't have a cast down here, the Krasis kills my... Tucking a Krasis is an interesting play. Let's go with interesting. Oh, okay. I mean, if they do this and then have a Mortify here, we could be in trouble. I guess they're also just going to get, okay, so I'm really hoping to draw Mass Manipulation next turn. Is the card we're looking to pick up. If we draw Mass Manipulation, we get to take both their Planeswalkers. Because I assume they're going to untap their lands to protect their Planeswalker here. Oh, they can have a Negate or Disdainful Stroke. That makes sense. So still hoping to draw Mass Manip and then hoping they don't have a thing. Alright, well, they just used Kaya's Wrath. Go. This is all I got. Do you have another one?
A curious choice.
Oh, magic. Yeah, and I don't even think I can reasonably... I don't even think I can reasonably put these... I guess I put the Gate Colossus back on top now that I drew the Krasis. I can't reasonably get the Gate Colossuses because they're just going to Vraska's Contempt it. Man, it's a shame I played... If I would have played Gruul Guildgate instead of Gateway Plaza, I could have played this and drawn both of these. Maybe I was supposed to decline paying one with Gateway Plaza. If they don't Thought Erasure us this turn, we get to Krasis, draw a bunch. But they have a Kaya's Wrath tucked under Karn here still, right? So the Gate Colossuses aren't strictly going to be good enough. We're going to need some other help inside of the cards that we draw. Maybe I'm supposed to give them Chemister's Insight there.
Hold that thought.
Because it feels like they're a little choked on mana. I've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're going to cast this for X's 8 next turn. Draw 4. So I know we're getting Kaya's Wrath next turn, because the Karn's going to downtick for it. We're looking for Mass Manipulation plus a counterspell to protect us through that afterwards. Alright. Someone asked how close we are to garbage time. It's tough with a deck like this because we have so much mana and we have so many good big plays that can pull us back into this game. Like even here where we're pretty far behind, they have to Wrath, have a counterspell for our Negate, and then we could draw Mass Manipulation and still get back in the game if they don't have a second counter past that. So this is a deck where you kind of hang on a lot longer than a lot of other decks because you just have so many big plays that you can draw in the mid game to let you punch through. You have single cards that are worth, 5 and 6 of their cards. It doesn't matter that we're behind in a position like this, because if we draw the right one, we get to punch back. Wow, this is bold.
Hurry.
Cast Kaya's Wrath. Cast Kaya's Wrath. Yeah, buddy. Alright, they got greedy and now they're dead. Single piece of spot removal's not enough. Yep. Alright. Sweet. On the West Coast, I mainly file on YouTube. Glad to catch the end of a live one. Have my Bezo bucks. J-Dog, thank you for the 4 months. Welcome back and thanks for keeping me around. I appreciate it. I mean, they might not have had a counterspell. If they didn't have a counterspell, it wasn't really throwing. Do I want this Kraul Harpooner in my deck? I kind of do. Just in case they have. And like a 3-2 for was whatever. Although they did leave Cry of the Canarium in their deck for some reason, which I don't understand. I'm not quite sure. Maybe they're not familiar with how the Gates deck works. They could just not be familiar with the matchup, which isn't too surprising because this deck's not, excuse me, super popular anymore. Sounds good, Hacksaw. Gosh, this hand is so good with the second land, but most of your 6-spell hands look good with the second land. Huh, I'm gonna keep that. It's just another high impact card. Generally speaking, your hand gets chewed up and spit out in matchups like this, so just keeping a lot of high impact cards is ideal. Yeah, I get that Cry plus removal exile Gates Colossus, but that's still really awkward. Is there still a Twitch sub with Amazon Prime after this month? Why wouldn't there be? Did they announce something that's changing? Industrious Revolution, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. This is my 3-2. It's coming for you. It's probably just a bug in their interface, Lau. Yeah, I think it's weird that Cry was still in their deck, but it worked out for us, so you know, whatever. Opponent seems to be missing white mana, which is great for us. Alright, opponent kept kind of a medium hand and got punished. We had a good game too, though. We are the 99%. Alright, state of the beta. Is this on Daily MTG? Alright. We like to watch this together. We usually watch these together on stream. That might have been loud.
I'm Terra Ripping.
Whoa. Apologies.
Our biggest update yet. Coming to MTG Arena on March 27th. The update includes cosmetics, a new player progression system, practice matches, and more. There are 3 cosmetics coming with this update. Card styles, card sleeves.
Way too quiet. Alright. Alright, take 2.
Hi, I'm Terra Ripping, the art director for Magic the Gathering Arena. I'm excited to announce our biggest update yet. Coming to MTG Arena on March 27th. The update includes cosmetics, a new player progression system, practice matches, and more. There are 3 cosmetics coming with this update. Card styles, card sleeves, and avatars. There are years of artwork in the Magic universe. Now, art takes on a 3-dimensional quality that portals you into the game like never before. You will also now be able to customize your card sleeves in games, allowing you to express yourself every time you play. Speaking of new ways to express yourself, new avatars are also coming in the store. Now you'll have even more planeswalkers and notable characters to choose from. We received a lot of feedback on how to improve your onboarding experience. With this update, we're introducing a new early player progression system. Play games, earn experience, and unlock rewards. Another popular feature request we've been working hard on is practice matches. Whether you're looking to test out your new decks or brush up on your skills, you'll be able to play against Sparky. We're really happy we can finally release some of these big features we've been working so hard on for the past few months. And look for more changes and quality of life improvements and release notes for the update 0.13 releasing on March 27th. We'll see you in the game.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. I should, those are great. Like, people, I'm so glad that they're, like, doing something that's pseudo animated like that, as opposed to Here's the update link for people who want it. As opposed to, doing... what's it called? As opposed to doing, like, terrible foils like MTGO has. And the progression tree giving you another way to collect cards as a free-to-play player sounds great. Yeah. Yeah, this is, you know. And that's something we've said on stream a lot, is that Magic Arena isn't in a beta state because it's buggy. It's in a beta state because it's feature incomplete in a lot of ways, right? And like these additions, these updates are them completing these features that they've wanted, but they just haven't had time to do yet. And it's, in a way, it's really kind of great that they've, like, put the core features of the game in so we can, like, start playing Arena ASAP, but they're going to be adding all these other things that we want. I really hope we get customizable game boards at some point. I think that would be a fantastic addition. This matchup's probably really good for us. In my experience, this style of matchup tends to be really good for the Gates deck, especially when you have a quick Gatebreaker Ram. So for people wondering why I didn't cast Gates Ablaze there, this is a 4/4 and this is a Stomping Ground. That is a very good start for my opponent. That's a very good start. Unfortunately, our start is also good. Unfortunately for them. If they have a couple more heroic reinforcements, we could have a hard time here. But if we hit an untapped land next turn and get to play this Archway Angel, the game will probably end on the spot. His Turbonalia, sure. Honestly, I'm probably just Gates Ablazing again here. Just like, Blaze, hits you to 3. I kind of don't even need this Archway Angel, huh? We're just gonna kill them with the Gatebreaker Ram. Okay, alright, we're playing a game. If I root plus this becomes a 10-10. So do I'm probably just supposed to Archway Angel so I don't die to heroic reinforcements. Yeah, I think, yeah, opponent gets the message. Angel's real good. Yeah, this is a matchup where Mass Manipulation's not very good. Archway Angel is good. Lava Coil seems reasonable for cheap removal. This is a matchup where having extra cheap removal is really valuable and important. Gate Colossus is probably actually pretty good here, right? It's basically unblockable. I don't know if I want the third one, though. Yeah, these, like I said, these mid-range aggro decks is how I would describe the archetype my opponent's playing, are the exact types of matchup that this Gate deck wants to play. There. Aggro decks that have a hard time taking Gatebreaker Ram off the table, you tend to run over. They can and should charge exorbitant amounts of money for the cosmetics. That ideally is how the majority of money should be made. Optional things. If they make the core of what you need to be competitive cheap and then monetize everything, all the extras, that's a great way to do it. That's a great way to level the playing field between people who are whales and people who are free to play, while still giving the whales something to do to feel special about and to feel awesome about. When cosmetics are available, should deck requesters add a sleeve preference? No. They are adding sleeves to Arena. They posted an update today. Yeah, say I need some colors, but it's fine. Anything other than Gates Ablaze that's not one of our missing colors, we're gonna bottom here. I'm actually gonna keep that, because it means if I hit a 4th land, I'm gonna be able to fix my colors. Kill this one. This might be a game where we fumble and die. Hoping to draw a gate next turn so we can root in 2 turns. That's a reasonable draw. It's not necessarily amazing just because I only have 2 gates at the moment. But this route is going to get us a couple more gates, which is nice, depending on how much pressure they have to put into play here, which the answer looks to be not a lot. I guess if they have Gates Ablaze, if they have... Okay, so now I'm going to actually just do this since I hit the 3rd gate, because if they heroic reinforcements me next turn, I die. He just shock in. Oh, they must have, what's it called? The make X tokens. Do you think Arena will let players buy wildcards? You can already buy wildcards. Every time you buy a certain number of packs, you get guaranteed wildcards in it. You basically buy wildcards as is. Yeah, March with Multitudes. I'm kind of surprised March is still in their deck post board. Double up. Play the Concession Angel. Oh no! They killed my gain 10. How can I ever win the game now? Oh no! Just gonna draw 1 here. This lets me draw a 2nd, and then I put a giant ram into play. Meh. Meh. Bye, Felicia. This, if you've ever played Modern before, this deck is basically standard Tron. It's just like mono lopsided matchups. You just get to dumpster people. Dumpstering people's a good time. Oh, look, a gain 20. Yay, gain 20. Yay, gain 20. Yeah, and you're not alone in that, Hacksaw, and that's one of the reasons why monetizing cosmetics is the right idea, because it gets people excited. Up to 31 we go. Are we done here? Yes. Yes, we are. Oh, Concession Angel. Yeah, the Blaze might have been a little bit of a BM. I just didn't want them to have creatures, chat. Their creatures were attacking me. We need meme avatars. This hand's not amazing, but I think it's a keep. On the stack, thank you for the 10 months. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Oh no. Oh no. Actually, this is actually an incredibly good draw, especially in an aggressive matchup, because it means I'm gonna get to play this out on turn 3 as a 4/4. Their start is slow. And I'm gonna have a turn 3 4/4. So we don't have, as far as like non-Gates Ablaze starts go in matchups like this. This is pretty reasonable for us. Next turn, I'm gonna get to play a land and then Growth Spiral, and then we'll get to Gate Colossus the following turn. We shouldn't have basic Mountain in our deck since it can't cast turn 2 Growth Spiral. So that, hello Houseplant, I'd encourage you to read this article on Mana Math. The calculation on whether or not you should have lands in your deck doesn't have to do with, the number of lands you play greatly varies the amount of what your different things are doing. So like, in a deck that only had 20 lands in it, I'd agree with you, I can't afford a basic Mountain in my Growth Spiral deck. However, this deck has a lot more than 20 lands in it. Hey, G Miller, thanks for the 16 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. If I do this into this, I can play the Gate Colossus this turn, which is absurd. And then next turn, I get to Guild Summit and draw 6. So if I don't die on my opponent's next turn, we should be pretty well locked up. Looking for that Concession Angel and that Gates Ablaze. Oh, this makes a Gate Colossus free too. Look at that. Play my Ornithopter, go. This is my Colossus. My Colossus is amazing. Yep. Agree. Memnite power. Memnite power creep. Now, one thing worth noting here is that my opponent could have the what's it called card in their hand, right? They could have the card that makes their stuff indestructible. And then I do die next turn. So, for as good as our start was here, we might actually be dead. Even if we hit the Gates Ablaze. Woof. Hey, Josh gets my Prime. Thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Huh. Well. Can we survive if we Krasis plus Plaza? Yeah, I think so. That's probably the line. Do this and then Krasis for 4. I think that's the line. Woof. There are 31 cards in our deck, chat. They don't really have great attacks here. Because I have 2 8/8s. Honestly, we kind of don't even want it at this point, right? I think Concession Angel's the better draw, right? Like, I think this is better than Gates, because the Gates Ablaze kills my Gate Colossus at this point. Your move, Yugi boy. This is all I got. This is all I have. Go forth and be gentle. Great. Lava Coil comes in. Archers come in. Archway Angel comes in. Mass Manipulation comes out. So our draw lined up incredibly well there. This deck does actually struggle against aggro a lot of the time. I actually think this matchup is one of the harder matchups for this deck. As someone who's played this deck a good bit. It's not unwinnable, as you just saw, but it is hard. Yeah, Mass Manipulation is too slow. I think some Guild Summits come out too. I can also see Gate Colossus coming out. Gate Colossus is definitely worse than Ram a lot of the time. I'm gonna cut 2 of those and the 1 Guild Summit. Like, I get that Gate Colossus was good there, but I think a lot of the time it's not gonna be. Maybe that's not true. Is Colossus better than Krasis? I wonder if that's the case, just because this card's cheaper for a bigger threat. So, as with every deck in Magic, Cordemi, you get to pick and choose when you build your deck what you want to beat and what you want to have hedges against. So, I like playing Mass Manipulation in the main deck because I like having a card that's a total ace against mid-range and control, and that's what Mass Manipulation is. If you're playing against mostly aggro, then I would recommend starting it in the sideboard, yeah. You can and should customize the Gates deck and have your pre-board configuration set up to beat the decks you expect to be beating. You think they bring in Baffling End to deal with the Ram? Yeah, probably. So, Root is a little bit slow for 4 mana, but the important thing about Root in this matchup is not only the ramp that it provides, but this is also technically color fixing for us. We don't have that many actual white sources in our deck, and we kind of lean on Root on turns 4-5 to make the Archway Angel be castable. I'm going to lean on Izzet Guildgate on 1 here rather than Gruul Guildgate since we drew that, because there's more untapped green sources in my deck than there are untapped resources. So if I hit untapped green, I can Growth Spiral. I am a powerful wizard, ladies and gentlemen. Play to your outs, sometimes you hit them. I'm gonna go get my white source like I was talking about earlier. Yeah, they mulliganed and their start's pretty slow here, so I think I just go ahead and Gates Ablaze here. Clean things up. Put this into play and pass. Close the game out real quick here. So I have 2 water bottles, but one has a sippy straw on it, and as an infant, I enjoy my sippy straw. So when this one runs out, I pour the water from my other one into the one with the sippy straw. This hand's fine. Not amazing, but fine. Hopefully we draw an untapped land in our next 2 draws so we can root next turn. Alright, as far as non-lands go, castable spell is up there. Marty, doling out the sub-gifty. Good morning. Only 100 subs to go. Oh, Marty. Looks like we're playing against Bant Nexus. Could be some kind of flash deck, too. Maybe with a little bit of budget mana. I think I'm going to do this and just play Gate Colossus here. Yeah, smells like an Nexus deck. If it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's casting Root Snare and really annoying. So I assume that they have Teferi in their blue-white build. So I'm going to leave the Mass Manips in, I think. Definitely want these Negates. I think I want the Kraul Harpooners just as like a 3-2 for 2. Gate Colossus as well here. I don't think I want the third one of these. The rest of this seems fine. I think it's right to play them out one at a time like that, Burgle, because the clock's kind of different if they have the, if they have, like, random things that tap me or blockers, right? Does it? Maybe it's the same regardless. I'd also rather the Colossus get countered than the Ramp spell get countered. And they have mana up, so maybe that factors in too. Death to Nexus. Yep. Your best draws against Nexus are definitely your fast goat draws. Give them the goat. Give them the goat. Thanks everyone for out today, by the way. We're up to 2,100 people. Hope everyone's having a great one. If you're new and enjoying the content, you like how I describe my thought process and all that jazz, be sure to hit that follow button so you get notification of when I go live and with what. I'm here 5 days a week, jamming lots of standard constructed best of 3. This seems like not amazing, but if they are a combo deck, just turn 2, 3-2 is one of our better plays in this matchup, I think. They could be a bit of a brew too. We didn't see a ton of cards out of them. When do we swap to Bantafir? We've been playing this deck for about 40 minutes, so we'll probably play this match and then 1 or 2 more, depending on how long they take. So there actually isn't a way to reference how many sub-gifts someone sent on the channel. There's an extension that I can set up for it that'll track them moving forward, but I need to find a way to get a list of how many everyone has. But it does show it when they gift a sub. Yep, so confirmed. Reclamation nonsense. How do you usually determine the number of color sources you need to cast Growth Spell on turn 2? The mana article says 13 sources to cast 1 C spell, so you need 13 green and 13 blue to cast it consistently. Roundabouts there, it gets a little bit more muddled because your dual lands technically don't count as both. Hopefully they play land Teferi and then don't have a counterspell to stop our mass manipulation. They didn't even play a land this turn, so if they Nexus of Fate, it's like not really a big deal because they're just spinning their tires with it. The scary part would be if they go land Teferi and then Nexus of Fate with Teferi in play. The times they start comboing you are when they are drawing multiple cards in a turn while taking extra turns. And they can actually take an extra turn this turn because Wilderness makes 5 and Teferi makes 2. So if they float 5 mana here, Teferi's going to let them. Oh, do they not have it? That would be great. Do you have a counterspell? They didn't have a Nexus of Fate, so I feel like the odds of a counterspell are good here. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, I'll take it. Moving on up. It doesn't matter which order you sequence the triggers, Mr. Panda Gaming. You float mana with your Reclamation, and then you untap in response to your Teferi. So the ordering doesn't matter there. Every time a Nexus player stumbles and dies, a Concession Angel gets its wings. How do these numbers work? The numbers work in that if you don't lose matches, you move up very quickly. And we've won like the last 3 or 4 in a row now at this point, I think. So we're just climbing. It's when you win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1, win 2, lose 1 that you very slowly make progress. When you hit streaks like we're currently on, you move up very quickly. Because again, Magic's a high variance game. Yes, Reclamation untaps all your lands, including things that just came into play tapped. Looks like another Nexus deck. That being said, I have turn 3 Gatebreaker Ram on the play, which is one of our better starts here, so hopefully we can run them down. When you die, will you become a Concession Angel? 110%. Second Ram, that's great. So next turn I attack for 5, and then I'll have 10 power in play. Since Magic's a high variance game, do you think the ladder should be less swingy, or does it not really matter? It probably doesn't matter. It just means makes volume more important. Alright, so our goal is to draw a Route next turn. If we draw Circuitous Route next turn, they die, right? That would be +4 power. Okie dokie. Do, 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 do. That's a trading sword, Rob. Fogging a non-lethal attack is interesting. I guess they're just not expecting a third Ram. So I'm I'm ecstatic to see them burn a fog on a non-lethal attack. It's like I'm putting lethal into play. So like now you have to have a fog every turn, or you have to not give me another turn. Does mono blue become less common in your experience? The actual answer to that is it's all anecdotal and the sample size is small, so I don't really have a good metric to look at. The amount of matches you need to look at for a sample size to determine trends is much higher than anything you see on one specific stream. What are bad matchups for this Gates decks? Disruptive aggro decks tend to be hard for you, and Nexus of Fate tends to be hard. We're running really good so far today. We beat White Weenie and we beat Bant Nexus in the match before this. I think both those matchups tend to be hard for this deck. Please just be dead. Please, please just be dead. Please, please just be dead. Rude. Rude. Yeah, we're running good, Hawkeye. Running real good. I guess if I shock this in, I actually get to draw one more card. Concession Angel doesn't elicit too many concessions in this matchup, unfortunately. Wonder if we'll see them crack Memorial to Genius. Give themselves the best chance to get us next turn. Worth noting again, they don't have a Search for Azcan in play currently, so without a way to generate a secondary draw every single turn, they're less likely to kill us. Less likely to combo us and not give us another turn. Hopefully we'll see them spin their tires a little bit here and then concede. So generally speaking, you shouldn't concede to the Wilderness Reclamation Nexus decks until they have flipped Search for Azcanta with Reclamation in play, because at that point they're pretty unlikely to brick off. Post board will have a much better chance in this matchup, because like these cards like Gates Ablaze and Archway Angel will be things like Counter Spells and Cindervines to give us interaction. Alright, they bottomed. That's good for us. Please concede. Please, please concede. Alright, thank you. I really appreciate that. Someone should clip that. Oh, this deck is so dumb. And by deck is dumb, I mean the opponent's deck. It's rancid. Big poops. Big poops, not fun. Do I want Mass Manipulation or do I want Archway Angel? They both kind of suck. I'm actually going to put 2 Shivan Fire in my deck because it can kill Biogenic Ooze, which can be annoying. All you have to do is ask. Have you ever tried asking nicely? I've enabled the beta on voice mode, so when I talk into my microphone, it sends it to my opponent's headset. So they heard me say please concede, and they decided I sounded nice about it. This hand doesn't have any interactions or payoffs in it, but it's got plenty of ramps, so hopefully we'll hit one of our good cards off the top. This has a turn 3 route, which is like all you can really ask for. I mean, I think the opponent's deck is very reasonable. It's arguably one of the better decks in the format. It's just like, the games that when it loses, it just doesn't do anything. It just like does nothing and then concedes. We might do nothing and concede this game. I've kept a handful of mana, hoping that we fumble into some payoffs here. I think hands like this are ones you're supposed to keep in this deck. Just like this may or may not pan out, but if we find our big things, we'll be off to the races. The routes thin the deck out a little bit. Overall, players tend to overestimate the effectiveness of deck thinning in overall games. The amount of cards you have to see in the average game for deck thinning to become statistically significant is very large. I keep these hands and pray for a guild summit, and normally it plays out like this. Yep. Yeah, it's possible too that because like my opponent's playing the combo deck that I should just mulligan more aggressively for things like Cindervines or the Goat. Negates, things like that. Yeah, we've seen 12 lands, but like remember I kept a lot of lands too, so. And like this is like the annoying tedious part of the game, but again like my opponent, even if they take a turn here, they're not really doing anything. They're just spinning their tires. They have a lot of mana, but they're not going anywhere with it. The best trolls are where it takes you a second to go, oh, were they kidding? I'm not sure. Are they serious? This sounds stupid enough that it might be true. Would it be worth throwing Sylvan Awakening in this deck because you play so many lands? No, so generally speaking, you prefer to play cards like Guild Summit and Hydroid Krasis as opposed to something really narrow like Sylvan Awakening, because cards like Guild Summit and Hydroid Krasis are cards that are useful when you don't have infinite lands in play, but they're still good even when you have a bunch of lands. And again, just like take your turn. Like they're not really progressing the board state. They're not playing Search for Azcanta. They're not drawing extra cards with Chemist's Insight. They're just like spinning their tires and drawing another card. They made a land drop that turn, but they're not actually generating any sort of advantage with these turns. Unfortunately, I'm not generating any sort of advantage with my lands, so we've got that going for us. They probably have counter spells in their hand, so we're really hoping to draw Hydroid Krasis here. Search for Azcanta. That'll be game ending pretty quickly. Triple Search for Azcanta activations means you're dead and you can pack it in. Why do they not Memorial? They don't have a Memorial in play. They have basic islands and forests and stuff. Is this 10 mana? 10? Yeah, Krasis! It's everything I always wanted, champ! It's everything I've always wanted! Why did we have to draw a card to keep us in this? I just wanted to concede. Why couldn't I brick again? I just wanted to die in peace. Do 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 do. All right, my Ram's gonna be at least a 10-10. This Ram's gonna hit like a pickup truck, chat. It's gonna be glorious. They did board in Harpooner, which is interesting. I wonder what they're expecting out of us if they think Harpooner is good. Should you have held Gate there in case the Colossus dies? What way does their deck have to kill a Colossus? I could be forgetting one, but I don't think that's a thing I have to worry about. And now they hit Chemist's Insight. And if they take an extra turn here, they're likely going to get to flip Search Razkanta, and at that point, the game is over. Crushing Canopy does not kill Gate Colossus. Blink plus a counterspell could do it. This is good. I haven't had this many people be wrong about the Oracle text of a card since we threw chat in sub-only mode. It brings back fond memories, chat, making me feel at home. Things we've lost and forgotten. All right, so they're gonna flip Search for Azcanta here, and then they're gonna have triple Azcanta activation, so we're statistically dead. Now we just need subscriber spam bots, right? That's actually the biggest upside to being sub-only chat, is I got to turn off R9K mode and not have to deal with spam bots anymore. Statistically dead, the best kind of dead, yep. We're only mostly dead. I got you, Clown Copter. Punchworthy's just gone like full no chill. This hand is great. This hand could brick on a land and die, but there are 27 lands in our deck total, so hopefully that's not the outcome. That's actually a good draw. So I get to go Harpooner on 2 into Gatebreaker on 3 and just pressure. I'm gonna be attacking for like 7 on turn 3 here, or turn 4. Like a pretty big chunks. I could attack for 8 if this growth spiral draws another gate. Crushing Canopy with the bits to get timed out. Good afternoon to you. Oh, you make me smile. Make me smile. Yep, yeah, you've been that counterspell. Let's do it. Man, watching this start almost makes me want more Kraul Harpooners in this deck. Just because, like, Harpooner into Gatebreaker is really good in this combo matchup. I think I'm gonna Krasis for 2. I'm doing it pre-combat because we could draw a gate. Great. Hopefully we get another turn, and hopefully we get a combat step in that turn. Reading the messages lowers timeout 8 p.m. It's funny because it's true. This worked in game 1, so please concede. Please concede. That's a good point, Shirak. Doing it post-combat's better because of the possibility of blink of an eye. I think that's a good thing to point out. Bottoms up. Lou Mason. Cashed in that Twitch Prime support. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Hope you're having a good one. All right, 306. We've been going for a little over an hour with Gates. I think I'm gonna leave that as the last match with Gates today, just to enjoy the purity of having not lost a match and having scaled up to 306. I feel like the only thing that can occur from here is a slow downward spiral. Respect the streak, chat. All things considered, this is the latest build that you could find on my website. I like the changes a lot. So the biggest changes are that I moved a little bit away from being so much into white. We just have a small white splash for Archangel. We've got these Shivan Fires in the main to be a little bit more interactive against the aggro decks, which I think is a good hedge. X Cafe, thanks for the Prime support. Hope you're having a good one. Is it going to be sub mode forever? As long as I remain above 2,000 subscriber points, I do not intend to leave subscriber only mode. I am happier, and I feel like my content is better and more focused with the chat on sub only mode. As far as the sideboard goes, I would need to play against mono white a little bit more, but I think there's a chance some of these archers should be more harpooners just to give us a better chance against the Nexus decks, because those aggressive curves to start are really good there. But that being said, the archer is really good against white aggro, which can be a hard matchup sometimes, so maybe the split is right. It could also be the possibility that, like, we're good enough against mid-range that this third mass manipulation is unnecessary, and this could maybe turn into a third harpooner.